Welcome back to Emotional Mojo. You know, between school pressures, activities, homework, careers, it is hard to find the time just to get to the dinner table. So our next guest is a self-proclaimed brain geek and joins us to help manage the stresses of modern-day parenting. Welcome, family psychologist Dr. Kristen Race. Hi, Dr. Race.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Thanks for being with us. This is something I think everybody can relate to. You know, we're super busy. And you actually have an explanation why parents and kids are anxious and angry. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. You know, families are incredibly stressed. And as parents, we're inundated with information 24/7. Our careers demand constant accessibility. And even our kids' after-school schedules require color-coded calendars to manage. And the thing is, when parents are stressed, the whole family feels stressed. So in mindful parenting, using brain science, I help parents understand the impact of this stress, not only on their own brain, but on their children's brains, and how we can build resilience in really simple ways.
And you mentioned mindful parenting, that's your book, and there are some really creative solutions too to help create peace and live a happier life. What are some of your tips? You do something called mindful listening.
We do something called mindful listening, and I think in order to understand how mindful listening works, it helps to understand just a little bit about stress in the brain. So in its simplest form, I speak about the brain in two parts. The smart part of our brain is the prefrontal cortex, and this is the part of our brain that helps us pay attention, it helps us solve problems, it helps us work and learn efficiently. We also have the alarm part of our brain. This is the fight, flight, or freeze part of our brain. Our hectic lives are constantly stimulating the alarm part of our brain, and this inhibits the way the prefrontal cortex develops. However, the good news is when we can engage in simple, frequent practices like mindful listening or paying attention to our breathing, we stimulate the prefrontal cortex. This calms stress and makes that smart part of our brain stronger, more efficient, and easier to use.
I actually saw something on Sesame Street, and they were teaching like 3-year-olds how to do this. So this is something everybody can use, even the kids, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. From kids to adults, it works equally as well, and we all need it.
Dr. Race, I saw a clip on YouTube about this challenge that you have that's called Hang Up and Hang Out. And I want everybody to know about this because I'm guilty of it. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And I literally, at 5 o'clock, I'm like, all right, that's it. I put my phone away. But tell people what this challenge is.
That's great. That means you're really paying attention to it. You know, one of the things that causes stress in our brain is this perception that we have to be constantly accessible. And the accessibility also impacts our relationships with our kids. So hang up and hang out is a challenge to parents to curtail their cell phone use or their technology use for 1 week during family time. And we engaged in this challenge in my hometown community of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And the response was so overwhelmingly positive, it really inspired me to write Mindful Parenting to provide families with simple solutions they could use on a daily basis to build resilience to stress.
I wonder if that would get kids involved too. If they see their parents not using their tech stuff, then maybe they'd get off the little PlayStation things and
well, and I've had to tell my friends and my colleagues and everybody, like, you know, between 5 and 9, I'm mommy.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know,
like
tarot dietitian, whatever. I am mommy. So please try not to distract me from my family time.
Yeah, and that's setting healthy boundaries and changing those roles. And hi, this is Jada. I just want to know, what's a simple practice for building stress resilience? I heard you talk about the stress resilience. What's a simple practice?
Yeah, Jada, one of my family's favorites actually is a simple game called Rose, Bud, Thorn, and we play it at the dinner table. Each member of the family takes a turn describing their rose, a great part of their day, their thorn, a difficult part of their day, and their bud, which is something they're looking forward to tomorrow.
Ooh, I love that.
That's cute.
And it's a great way to engage around the table.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your advice with us. We really appreciate it. That's Dr. Kristen Race, and her book, Mindful Parenting, is available now, so you should go and pick that one up.